One of the most effective ways to make your chord sound more interesting is to add bass runs, also known as walk-ups and walk-downs. I've already posted a lesson on adding bass runs to open chords. I'll leave a link for that in the description. In this lesson, I'll show you how to add bass runs to movable chords. We can do this with any pattern that has individual bass notes, including fingerstyle patterns, but to keep it simple, in this lesson we'll focus on this simple bass, strum, or boom chick pattern. Real quick, I'm going to play the bass runs for you, and then we'll break them down. This first bass run moves from a major chord with the root on the 6th string to a minor chord with the root on the 6th string, 3 frets lower. I'm using this chord form for the major chord, and this one for the minor chord. I'm thinking of the major chord as the 1 chord and the minor chord as the 6th chord. Those numbers come from the degrees of the major scale. We're not going to get into that in this lesson. If you'd like to learn more about the theory side of things, check out guitar theory modules in the description. So if I want to play a B-flat major chord as my 1 chord, the root will be here on the 6th fret, 6th string, and relative to that, the root of the 6th will be this G, 1, 2, 3 frets lower. So the root of the 6 is always 3 frets or 3 half steps lower than the root of the 1. B flat to G minor, or 1 to 6 without the bass run. And with the bass run. So when we play the bass run, instead of strumming on beat 4, we interrupt the pattern and play a moving bass note instead. In this bass run, we're playing the 7 on beat 4. And that 7 is always 1 fret lower than the 1. So if this is my 1, here's my 7. So we play 1, strum, 1, 7, 6, strum, 1, 1, 7, 6. And you can reverse this run. Start on the minor chord and play a run up to the major chord. So now it's 6, strum, 6, 7, 1, and strum. 6, 6, 7, 1. To work out the mechanics, you can practice these 2 bass runs back to back in a sort of endless loop. This also makes a good warm-up exercise. 1, strum, 1, 7, 6, and then move back. 6, 7, 1. 1, 7, 6. And once you get comfortable with it, speed it up. And because these are movable chords, you can take this idea and move it around the fretboard. We could go B to G sharp minor. Or C to A minor. So I'm using this form for the major chord, and because the root is on the 5th string D at the 5th fret, this is a D major chord. And I'm using this form for the minor chord. The root is on this 5th string B at the 2nd fret, so it's a B minor chord. And again, I'm thinking of the major chord as my 1 chord and the minor chord 3 frets lower as my 6. So if I want to play D major as my 1, the root will be here on the 5th fret, and relative to that, the root of the 6 will be this B, 1, 2, 3 frets lower. So again, the root of the 6 is always 3 frets or 3 half steps lower than the root of the 1. Now, if you're down at the end of the fretboard, you could run out of room, but luckily you can also find another 6 on the 6th string. And in this case, if this is my 1, I can find my 6 on the 6th string 2 frets higher, but just on the 6th string. So there's my 1 and my 6, or my 1 and my 6. And if you go with the option on the 6th string, you would play this minor form that we played earlier that has the root on the 6th string. Here's D to B minor, or 1 to 6, first without the bass run. And with the bass run. And just like the first example, instead of strumming on beat 4, we play a moving bass note, which, like the first example, is the 7, and the 7 is always 1 fret lower than the 1. So here's my 1, here's my 7. And now we add the bass run. Roots on the same string first, so 1, strum, 1, 7, 6. 1, 1, 7, 6. Or with the root of the other chord on the 6th string, 1, 1, 7, 6. 1, 1, 7, 6. And you can reverse this run as well. Now we start on the minor chord, play a run up to the major chord. 6, 6, 7, 1. 6, 6, 7, 1. Or with the minor chord on the 6th string, 6, 6, 7, 1. 6, 6, 7, 1. And you can practice this one in a loop as well to work out the mechanics. I'm just going to stick to the 5th string. 1, 1, 7, 6, 6, 7, 1. Once you've got it down, start to speed it up. Makes a really good warm-up. And don't forget to practice it moving around the fretboard. Let's go E flat to C minor. Or E to C sharp minor. This bass run moves from a major chord with the root on the 6th string to another major chord with the root on the 5th string. And notice that the roots are both at the same fret, they're just on different strings. I'm using this chord for my 6th string major, we've seen this one before, and this one for my 5th string major, and we've seen this one before as well. Depending on what key you're in, you can think of either chord as the 1 chord. If the 1 is on the 6th string, you can think of the other root as the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you think of your 5th string as your 1, you can think of the other root as the 5. 1, 7, 6, 5. And again, we're not going to get into the why of that in this video. If you want to learn more about that sort of thing, check out my book, Guitar Theory Modules. The important thing to remember here is that no matter which chord you think of as your 1, the bass run is the same. So for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to consider the note on the 6th string as my 1. So if I want to play a B flat major as the 1 chord, the root will be here, 6th fret, 6th string. And this E flat on the 5th string will be the root of the 4. So here's B flat to E flat, or 1 to 4, without the bass run. And with the bass run. So this bass run is a little bit different. In the first 2 bass runs, we played the 1 on beat 3. In this run, we move to another bass note on beat 3. In this case, that's going to be the 2. So here's my 1, here's my 2. And then we play the 3 on beat 4. And there are a couple places you could play the 2. You can play the 2 frets higher than the 1 on the same string. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Or you could play the 2 on the 5th string 3 frets lower than where the 1 was. So 1, 2, 1, 2. And the 3 is always going to be 1 fret lower than the 4. So if this is my 4 that I'm aiming for, there's my 3. So if you play the 2 on the 6th string, the bass notes will be in a little box. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you play the 2 on the 5th string, there'll be more of a sliding motion. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's no right or wrong here. Play what's best for you. Playing in a box, 1, strum, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And playing it with a slide. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course, reverse it. In a box, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. And sliding. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. Loop this one as well. I'm just going to play in a box here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 4. Once you get comfortable, speed it up. And move it around the fretboard. A to D. Or A flat to D flat. This last bass run is for minor keys. It goes from a minor chord with the root on the 5th string, that's going to be the 1, to a major chord with the root on the 6th string, that's going to be the 5. And notice that the roots are both on the same fret, they're just on different strings. I'm using this chord form for the 5th string minor. We've seen this one before. And this form, which we've also played for the 6th string major. So if I place the minor form here on the 5th fret, my 1 chord is D minor. And if I place the root of this form here on the 5th fret on the 6th string, my 5 chord is A major. What sets this run apart from the others, aside from it being in a minor key, is that on the way down, you're going to play 1, flat 7, flat 6, and to 5. On the way up, you're going to play 5, natural 6, natural 7. So it's different going down than it is up. Let's play downward first. If this is my 1, I can play the flat 7 here or here. And even though the flat 7 on the 5th string is closer to the 1, I tend to play the flat 7 on the 6th string for a more natural flowing movement to the flat 6, which is here, and then to the 5, which is here. D minor to A major, first without the bass run. And then with the bass run. So we play 1 and a strum, flat 7, flat 6, 5 and a strum. 1, flat 7, flat 6, 5. Moving from the 5 chord back to the 1, we're going to play a natural 6 and a natural 7, not flat 6 and flat 7. The 7 is always 1 fret lower than the 1. So here's my 1, here's my 7. And there are a couple spots you could play the 6. You could play it on the 6th string. That's going to be 2 frets higher than the 5. Or you could play it on the 5th string, 2 frets lower than the 7. Play it one way and your notes are in a box, 5, 6, 7, and 1. Play it the other way and you slide your bass notes, 5, 6, 7, and 1. And both are correct. A major to D minor or 5 to 1, first without the bass run. And with the bass run, let's do the boxed version first. So 5, 6, 7, 1. 5, 6, 7, 1. And with the slide. 5, 6, 7, 1. 5, 6, 7, 1. And loop it. I'm just going to play in the box. 1, flat 7, flat 6, 5, 6, 7, 1. Speed up when you get comfy. And don't forget to move it around the fretboard. Let's go E flat minor to B flat major. Or E minor to B. To use this information, you need to know movable chords and you need to know the notes on the fretboard, at least strings 5 and 6. Check out this video if you need help learning the fretboard, and check out this playlist if you'd like to get into movable chords. And for more guitar lessons, music theory, and solo guitar arrangements, please subscribe.